Today's guest is a powerhouse in Palm Beach County's nonprofit sector, Julia Murphy, Chief Advancement Officer for Habitat for Humanity of Greater Palm Beach County. Julia is a nationally recognized strategist and philanthropic leader whose bold vision, measurable results, and deep commitment to community collaboration have transformed the landscape of affordable housing in our region. Under her leadership, Habitat has tripled unrestricted revenue, doubled its annual impact, and raised over $18 million in philanthropic support in just 3 years, all to expand access to safe, affordable homeownership for local families. With more than 17 years of experience, Julia has designed and led initiatives such as Women Build, Veterans Build, Private Equity Build, and the 40th Anniversary Dream Builders Ball, each mobilizing partners, inspiring investment, and creating lasting generational change. Beyond her role at Habitat, Julia serves on multiple boards, co-chairs the 30th Annual Giraffe Awards, and is deeply involved in leadership programs across the county. Her work has earned her honors including Young Professional of the Year and nominations for Woman of the Year and the Athena Leadership Award. Julia is a believer that leadership is both a responsibility and a calling, and today we're thrilled to explore that calling, her journey, and the extraordinary impact she continues to make in Palm Beach County. All right. Hello, Julia.
Hi, Anna. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you for being on today. I'm so glad you're here because
Thank
I
you for
haven't
having
gotten to
me.
interview you yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't done this fun session yet.
Good. Well, we will jump right in just because I have a lot of questions to get through.
Oh, I
So,
like that.
your career began in direct service and advocacy before transitioning into the high level fundraising and strategy that you're in now. So, how has that early frontline experience shaped the leader you are today?
I think it's probably the most critical part why I'm actually successful at my job. I
Mhm.
got to see hands-on on a program side the impact that we can make in the nonprofit industry. So I started at Compass
Mhm.
LGBT Community Center when
And
I
you were
was
there for how long? You were there for a
14
while.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started really early. I was an intern in my early 20s, and then I went on to work there.
Ah,
I served people living with HIV and AIDS, LGBTQ youth, HIV prevention. I did it all. So I really got to understand the grant side, the
mhm.
programmatic side, the service side. So now when I go to discuss with a donor what we're doing on the nonprofit industry, I can really connect them with the mission. I feel like that's probably one of my most successful tools I have.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
And then under your leadership, Habitat has tripled its
Yeah.
unrestricted revenue and doubled annual impact. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
I'm very
I
proud of
mean,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
So what key strategies or mindset shifts have allowed you to scale that?
There was a big shift. So
Yeah.
there was 2 habitats in Palm Beach County prior to me coming on. I was recruited to come on to help through that merger process. I don't recommend a merger to anybody.
It's tough.
Yeah, a few times I was like, "Am I gonna survive this?"
Right.
But it was a really different culture back then. So now really, I think elevation, professionalism, and customer service.
Yeah.
Those are 3 things that I hold to the highest standard. My team has been with me for a long time, and really every year, I think reflection is really important, but also planning, looking at what we're going to do, and then relationships, re-engaging people, bringing new people in. Habitat's mission requires a lot of hands-on,
Yeah.
not only on volunteer sides, but fundraising. Our one program for a house is $300,000.
Wow.
So if you
For
think
just
about
one.
yes, just one.
Oh my goodness.
So when you think about what we need to raise, really it takes a lot of money to do that. So our Women Build campaign's one of them, insights. It was a great campaign, but when we came and saw the potential, I brought in the things that I learned from Compass
Yeah.
as far as bringing a community together. I like to party with a purpose.
Yes.
So
So
bringing
good.
in entertainment, we have digital vibes there. Every moment from the second you step out of the car, you're engaged in some way. If
Right.
it's through the flamingos on the walkway, to it's the food that you're eating, to then the
Mhm.
experience you're having on a job site. So I really think that that has set us aside and being able to elevate us and to have donors want to give more.
Right.
And then cross the county, being able to experience different things within our community and bringing all these people together.
Yeah. Can you touch on you talked about the merger earlier. Can you
Mhm.
touch on that? Like, what did you know when you took the job that this was kind of on the horizon, that this was
Mildly, I knew that was
right?
happening, but I
Yeah.
had no idea. Like, I assumed that it was kind of already done.
Okay.
When I got there, it had not happened.
Yeah.
The 2 organizations really had not met, only the boards really, but the staff haven't interconnected and things
Right.
like that. So you were looking at dual positions, you were looking at redefining
Right.
roles. It was scary for people that have been there. For me, it was exciting to really make something new, but we did lose 50% of the staff, not because we let them go, but because of
Right.
the new culture and things like that. So being without team members was very difficult. And really trying to get the two boards because there was the South versus the North kind of
Yeah.
perspective. We're not in that any longer, but even,
It's
yeah,
everywhere now.
and Boca's Boca. I mean, so
Right.
we covered that affiliate, South County covered Boynton, Delray, and Boca. And, you really do need to have program services and people in those
Right.
areas to fundraise or even have an impact. So that I think really transitioned a lot. And now I think people see us as Palm Beach County versus
Yeah.
these little entities, which we need to be. We have houses out in the Glades. So we have homes in Belle Glades, South Van Pahokee. We
Wow.
do have homes in Boca, Delray, Boynton, Lantana, Lake Worth, West Palm, Riviera Beach, and we built in Jupiter.
Oh my
So our
gosh.
impact is huge. And then we also repair houses. So people see us building, but we're repairing 100 houses a year.
100
Yeah,
houses.
so they can be anywhere from a brush with kindness, which is a simple,
I love that. A brush
beautification.
with
Yeah.
kindness.
So people
Okay.
come out and do a beautification project to a critical repair, a replacement of a roof, impact windows, AC, different kind of things that make the home essential,
Yeah.
or aging in place where we'll do modifications for
Cool.
somebody living in the house that need to sustain themselves. We have a lot of our aging population living in home, but they need that ramp, guardrails down,
Mm.
even doorknobs. What people don't realize with the latch is a lot more helpful if you have arthritis.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we modify the home to make sure that they're able to age in it gracefully.
Holy cow.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Well
That's why
done.
that money's
Yeah.
important.
Well, and then you mentioned you have a with the merger, how many team members now do you have as a whole with Habitat, and then who is under your team
Mm.
specifically?
So we have a little bit less than 100 team members because we also have 4 restores. So
Okay.
kind of like a thrift
Oh,
store.
yes, the restore is awesome.
That's the larger portion, I would say, of our employee base. So we have Jupiter, Riviera Beach, Green Acres, and Delray. We did have a Boca store, but the lease was up and we haven't
Yeah.
been able to find a new location. So I would say at least 70% of the staff is in the
Is in the
restore,
restore.
and then about 30 administrative staff. And that varies from finance to operations, like internal, like office, and then to my advancement staff.
Yeah.
I have 8 team members,
Wow.
but
Okay.
I oversee all the marketing communications for the entire affiliate. So for the restores as well. Yeah. Anything branded come out has gone by my desk at some
Yeah.
point. Yes.
So where do you find the time to balance
Oh my
everything?
goodness. I think that if you have passion, you find time.
You find time.
I have a very supportive family.
Yeah.
My husband understands the impact that I want to make growing up here in Palm Beach County, and showing my daughter what can be done is really important. And to be honest, every year I reassess where I'm spending my time.
Yeah.
I have to care about it.
Right.
So Women's Leadership Council is something I care about,
Yeah.
and making a space for women to be heard and seen, and starting even from the young professionals
Right.
over 10 years ago, I always feel like there's a gap to be filled, and
Mhm.
that's where I like to spend my time.
Oh, that's so good. Well,
Thank you.
thank you, Julia, really.
Absolutely.
So you briefly touched on Women Build, but I know you have other really capital projects
Yes.
that you focus on. So each of those programs bring together unique groups around a common mission. So what makes these initiatives so successful in engaging donors and the
Yeah.
community?
So they each have really a focal area. So our next one is in January called Private Equity Build.
Okay.
That came over a lunch conversation with a donor and a board member, and they are in that ecosystem. And we're like, we would love to bring our networks together to make a bigger impact. This year, we're raising $400,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's our second largest campaign. And that works because you really look at niches. So we look
Okay.
at people and we want to make sure that the experience, like I told you, from the second of them
Yeah.
getting out of the car to even registration, what's the attire look like? What are they getting for the dollar that
Mhm.
they're paying? And what's the experience? I think that's what sets us aside, because we're not at a gala all the time. We are in a build site,
Right.
but we make it elevated. Kid you not, even every year we're changing the shirts to the hats to make those cohesive. What
Right.
did you like? What did you not like? The food, each company gets their own sign to take a picture in front, so they have a grouping.
Yeah, that's
So we
cool.
look at all of those details to make sure, and then we ask for feedback, and
Mhm.
always want to, get better. Women's Build is our biggest initiative.
I love Women's Build.
It is honestly, it's a movement now,
Yeah.
and it makes me so proud. I present it to our state organizations for Habitat, and everyone's like, "How do you do this?" And honestly, it's the women behind it.
Mhm.
I just get to represent this brand, but when we really brought all these pieces together, it's the champions, it's the leaders of the build. Christy and Rana are taking this. Christy just got Florida Crystals to sign on. Danny Moore from Mayor of Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Really, them asking their networks and bringing them together. And when you can see that impact in 2 days, what you're changing the lives and the stories of the people living in those houses, I mean, women get things done. We just do.
That
And
is
there's men
true.
that support us too.
Right.
So a campaign that men supporting women build. So we'll have a calendar coming
Yeah.
out this year of all the men behind us.
Oh, that is so
Yeah, it's
cool. What
super
a great
cute. So
idea.
it's 12 months. We'll have a picture
Yeah.
of each man, and their job is really to just support this campaign,
Yeah.
not be the front face, but really
Just
this
to
is,
support.
yeah.
Right.
And I think about how my husband has always really support women led spaces. He has me and my daughter and our female dog, and always a big champion. I'm like, let's not forget about those people that are standing behind us too. Like
Right.
you can't forget that. So that kind of campaign came along, and then our veterans build, which how could you not get behind
Oh.
veterans? So a great organizations that we support and help us. There's a homeless shelter in Boynton that we always support,
Mhm.
and they have about 12 different gentlemen that live there, and it's called Vetsville.
Okay.
Seeing that impact is huge. A lot of people don't know about it. We partner with Wounded Veterans Relief Fund.
Right.
So we bring other organizations together to be able to do this, but also give back as well.
No, that is so good. And it's very focused on who
Yes.
you are
Yes.
targeting. So
Absolutely.
I think that's also what makes it successful thanks to your leadership. So you often speak about how access to housing can change the trajectory of an entire family. Can you share a story or a moment that illustrates the power of this work?
Yeah, there's so many. I could just like get emotional about it. Honestly, I came to Habitat. I was in direct service for so long, and sometimes you don't get to see the outcomes of
Hmm.
therapy or that medical service. You're kind of waiting. Habitat, you get to see that in 18 months.
Wow.
You get to see it from the time somebody applies and all of the hard work that goes into that application. So kind of think about the traditional market. You try to save your money up, you go and apply,
Hmm.
you get a realtor. Habitat is similar to that, but we ask you to put everything on the table. You have to be 30 to 80% of the area median income. The area median income's about $111,000 in
Wow.
our county. So it's jumped astronomically in the last 5 years.
Oof.
So we have people that are working really hard to get ahead, but they just will never be able to get to that point. So school bus drivers, the person baking your cake, person stocking your groceries,
Right.
person taking your blood. These are humans, right? That are making our day-to-day life better or giving us access. So we just actually had 6 homeowners welcome to the program. We did a surprise. And when they walked in, just to see their faces, because you have some people that have been working 10 years towards this goal, if
Right.
not their whole life. They are first-time home buyers in their family. It's the first time that this generation will change in their family and their children will have a stable place.
Mm,
Rebecca's story probably stands out most to me, just kind of thinking where we're at today. She was one of our Women Build campaigns. She was with an organization called Hearts for Moms,
mm,
and they were helping her prep, getting her kind of life back on track. She had gotten divorced and didn't have anything at that point and really wanted to buy a house here. Her daughter is an extraordinary artist, wanted to go to Bach Middle, but was not going to be able, couldn't even afford to buy the condo that she wanted. She was about to give up and move out of state. And she came across Habitat's program because of Hearts for Moms. And that's why that connectivity and outreach matters so much. And Rebecca's story just stuck out. She has fought so hard to get here. Her daughter now gets to go to Bach.
ah,
She's going to get to go to Dreyfus. You will be seeing this girl in museums, I swear on my life. But what would have happened if she couldn't have those opportunities for her child to have access to the right teachers, to the
right.
right, curriculum, things like that? She might not have that ability. So to see the transformation, Rebecca's house is the place now all the kids hang out.
Mm,
Her house is the holiday house where the family comes together. And she's like, I've never been able to just sit on my porch and have a cup of coffee and feel safe.
right.
That's what Habitat does.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. You're right about getting emotional. Holy
Yeah, no, it's a
cow.
lot. You're like, I'm like looking at which
Jeez.
story. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many extraordinary
Well,
ones.
and I think too, just because you've, like you said, at Compass, you still did great work
Of course.
and life changing work, but you are directly seeing
Yeah.
the client, or really not the client, but the person, I guess the
Yeah.
client who you're directly impacting, and they know you, they see you,
Yeah.
like you see their daughter, like all of,
So like when you buy a traditional market, you're really getting to know your realtor
yeah.
mortgage person for what, 60 to 90 days. And you're like, here, great. We're working alongside you, honestly, for over 2 years.
Mm,
And then you're staying in our program after that. So it's a 0% interest for
wow.
30 years at 30% of your income. So we're still holding that relationship.
The whole time.
Yep. So it's not like it's a transaction. We really want to make sure. And then they're going through education on how to maintain their house.
Right.
They're learning how to save their money.
Mm,
Our goal is to never hold you back. It's to lift you up, to
right.
make sure that you're able to buy your daughter a car, be
Right.
able to send your child to college. We want to just make sure you have that stable housing to be able to do that. And I don't think a lot of people realize right now, younger people do, like yourself maybe,
Mm.
are moving around a lot. So
Yeah.
they're in one apartment or a townhouse and then it goes up and they're like, okay, let me find the next one. Our homeowners with 3 children are doing that every single year.
Yeah,
Their
it's so
schools are
hard.
changing, their neighbors are changing. They don't know the mail person, they don't know the grocery store person. That's what's changing also. That
Yeah,
stability of knowing who's delivering your mail, as simple as that is.
right.
But what it gives you is quality of life.
I think you're totally right. And then can you touch on too, to be a part of the Habitat program, it's not families experiencing homelessness, it's
No.
families who are working, like
Mhm.
you said, and sometimes you said, taking your blood and like stocking your groceries. So
Yeah.
touch on that a little bit.
So they're cost burdened by their house. So
Hmm.
nobody should pay over 30% of your income for housing.
Mm,
So really, if you look at the metrics and there's different people that tell you what it should be or shouldn't be, really it's like 29.5%. When you're paying 50% of your income, what are the other decisions that you're making or 60% of your income, right?
mm,
So our homeowners are 30 to 80% of that. On average, I'd say they're around 60%, maybe a family of two or three making 65,000 a year. Their rent is now $3,000.
gosh.
How do they afford to do the other things?
How? Like,
They
how do you even
You can't
afford to
afford daycare.
live?
My
Yeah.
my daycare is more than my mortgage.
Right.
So, the reality is if even if you have one child, right, how do you make those decisions that everybody wants for their child? To have care.
Mm,
You can't pick them up from school. Are they walking home alone? What is happening on a day-to-day basis to create this safe environment for even single people, whoever it is, to make sure that they have that?
right.
So for Habitat, we're able to fill this gap. Some people may be experiencing some slight homelessness. We are getting referrals now that people were in a house but now living in their car.
Uh,
That was never the case before, but they had stable housing. So you do need an income. It could be Social Security, whatever it is. You have to have means of income and then the debt to income ratios, and you have to have a credit score. So you have to be able to pay your mortgage when it's
yeah.
done. The goal here is homeownership. It's
Right.
it's not renter. It's really to make sure you have that long-term stability. If you come in and you're really not qualified, we work with you and we get you ready. We'll send you to other programs like Community Partners, Adopt a Family to kind of get you prepared. So several of our families right now are coming from Adopt a Family, Community Service, Urban League
Got
that
it.
are prepping them for this stage.
Okay.
Habitat fills a gap because you don't need to put that large down payment.
Right.
So the only thing that you're paying at the end is closing costs is about 6,000. So we're helping you save. You're paying 30% of your income, so you're not cost burdened, and it's a 0% interest. So all of those things added up make sure that you're successful with maintaining this house for a longevity of a time.
Right.
And we have a very low foreclosure rate. And usually it's because somebody wants to move or they're just not really meant to be a homeowner.
Right.
Since our merger, that has not happened.
That's
So,
great.
but yeah, people are working 2, 3 jobs and they really should be working one and being able to be at home with their children, to be
Right.
honest. We do have great partners like Publix, and we have several Publix employees
Right.
that are Habitat homeowners. Hendrick Brothers
Yes.
has referred people to our program. We have lots of different, Krista Foco, actually, one of her
Yes.
employees just got accepted into the program. So what you're paying your employees is great, but not for Palm Beach County.
Right.
It's
Not for
just
Palm
really
Beach
hard,
County.
yeah. And then some of our homeowners are living in conditions that, the landlord isn't upkeeping the house,
Hmm.
and they're deplorable, to be honest.
Right.
So we assess all that. We have a committee, which I don't get on. Everyone asks me, I'm like, purposely. So about 10 people that go, and then we do home visits. They go and
Yeah.
visit the home, they get to know you, and they see if you're really ready for this opportunity. Because you gotta remember, it's other people's money.
Right.
Other people are investing in this.
Good stewards of
Yeah,
your money.
absolutely.
Good
Yes.
stewards
I
of
feel
your
very
money.
responsible for that.
I think that's incredible too, just to show how you are as a leader and how you've been able to just take Habitat and skyrocket it in the
Yeah,
time you've been there is because you take it personal.
I
Like
do.
this is a very high touch, high responsibility job and you take it by the horns and
I
you
think it's my
go.
own money,
Yeah,
right? I treat it
exactly.
as if it's me investing in it.
Right.
I've always treated the nonprofits like it's my own business.
Yeah.
I'm entrepreneurial, I'm creative. I don't think it's somebody else's responsibility to take as my own, but you do have a team and you
Yeah.
should be led by that. But I want my team to thrive. I want my team to go on to do other
Mhm.
things if they want. I want to create great leaders and people that feel the world needs more of us.
Yeah. And so we touched on it briefly, but tell us a little bit about your excitement for the Women's Leadership Council
Oh my
this
gosh,
year.
I'm so excited. I was honored to be asked
Yes.
year 1. I could not believe I'm asked again. So
Absolutely.
very
We're
excited.
keeping you forever at this point.
I love it. Well, I sit on the Women's Chamber of Commerce, and I really, when Women Bill came about and I came to Habitat, I said, where is my time in this space? And I've done Junior League, and I realized I really love women-led
Mhm.
spaces, and I really like to be around women in authentic
Right.
spaces. Life is hard.
It is hard.
And every phase comes something different, right?
Right.
And I'm just turned 40 and it's such a phenomenal time and I have such clarity in my life. but I also need to understand what the future looks like for me.
Mhm.
So I like that the Women's Leadership Council is intergenerational. We have women there that are in their 20s and we have women there in their
Right.
70s. And the conversations are relevant to all of us. I think that's what makes it important. And also there's nothing like this on Palm Beach,
Mm.
right? Palm Beach is so extraordinary, has so many things to offer, but where is this recognition of women? And you have a lot of great women on the island that are
Right.
doing phenomenal things
Right.
that are really impacting, if it's from the healthcare side to the clothing side. I mean, there's
Yes.
so much exciting stuff happening there. I want to talk about it. I want to
Yeah.
find out about it. I want to learn about it. I mean, just think about the conversations about women's experiences through their careers and how we now have like three different lives. Like
Right.
we people say you retire, then you go on to something
You
next.
do. You do.
And I love that. I love to just hear and learn from other humans. And I think that's what the Women Leadership Council does. It really opens up a door for people.
Thanks. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
But you did it. You made it
Well,
happen.
I think we all did it just because we all were experiencing kind of the same thing. We were all kind of experiencing this same sort of moment in our lives, but just at different stages,
Mhm.
like I just turned 30 and you just turned 40.
Yeah.
And like with Susan, she's such a seasoned woman. And same
Yeah.
thing with Lisa. And it's just like, and with Tina, Tina Thompson, it just like we all kind of were feeling this sort of opportunity that's like we need some real answers here and
Yeah.
not just like a pat you on the back, you're doing great, honey, like some real practical things of what we go through not in the workplace but also with families and
Absolutely.
like getting your first job and like all those stuff. And I just think that, we saw an opportunity and we're like, we're going to do it and we're going to do it right. And we're going to constantly go back to the drawing board to make sure that we're providing value for the people who invest in us, which,
Absolutely.
I take such high responsibility in that too. It's like you're
Yeah.
investing your time, you're giving up something to be here. And I need to make sure that you get the most out of that time that you gave
Absolutely.
up. So,
Well, the one thing you can't get back is time, right?
right.
And they're investing money as well, but the time I think is critical. What I've realized is that we all go through similar things at different points, even though we're like, okay, we're 30. What can I relate
Right.
to a 6-year-old? It's just so relevant nowadays.
Right.
And our lives have changed. Look at Lisa now where she's at with Cartier,
Yeah.
right? Would she have ever imagined that, right? But she is the perfect person and the perfect
Mhm.
opportunities. But how do those doors open is through mentorship.
Right.
So you're opening a space, even depending on, doesn't matter what age you're at. Somebody like Susan can be recruited to do anything at any moment, right?
Exactly.
And women are in the workforce a lot longer than we used to be, not
Mhm.
because we have to be, because we want to be.
Right.
We want to keep our minds going. We want to be active. We want to be encouraging people. So you're seeing women past the age of 65, up to 75 and 80, engaging in these things.
Right.
There's so much to learn. And I think the difference is now, as Americans, sometimes we look at our elders as not as wise. They're
Oh my
a lot
gosh.
wiser than we are.
Right.
Okay. A lot wise. I
Yeah,
love, but the young people are too. They see things in such a different
they
light.
do.
So even seeing my daughter at 5, like the things in her mind, I'm like, wow, like I didn't look at it like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It makes me a better human.
Well, and you're constantly learning, which I like.
Yes. I'm an avid lifelong learner.
Oh, that's so good. Well, here we go. Last question, then we'll jump into the fun ones.
Hmm.
So, you describe leadership as both a responsibility and a calling. What does
Yeah.
that mean to you in practice, especially when leading teams through ambitious growth and change?
Well, I think leadership is something that I was pushed into.
Mm,
I never saw myself in that context, even though all the things were made up there. Even as a young child, everyone's called me Mother Teresa. I was always helping somebody. I was always doing this. I was always doing that. I didn't see it. I was planning the parties and I got pushed into my first director role. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't need this. I'm getting my master's degree. And from that moment, when I said yes, I said, I need to understand how to do this.
mm,
I am then going to be the person other people look up to and they're going to follow. So I invested in a lot of leadership programs. I invested in trainings. I invested in books. And I advise that to everyone. Everyone's path's different. But if you're ever going to lead people, you need to know that that's a responsibility. And not just like, oh, it's about me. Leadership is not about you at all. It's
mm,
about everybody else. That's the interesting piece when you understand that. And the responsibility part is to make sure that you understand the humans that you're leading, right? The other thing that I learned early in my career, people are watching me that I had no idea.
yeah.
There are so many people watching what you do and you have no idea. And especially in the digital age now, you don't know what a perception or idea is. So for me, leading with purpose and responsibility means that I'm aware of that,
Mhm.
that I'm not naive to it. And then there are safe spaces that I have with a cohort of women where I can let loose or do whatever that is, but they're also in that space, right?
Right.
But leading with purpose, I think has been my biggest calling is knowing that I have a responsibility to do it. Being a mother now that definitely kicked in even more. I do see the little eyes looking at me.
Yeah.
But I would have people come up to me that had no idea who they were introducing themselves and want to talk to me. And I was like, wow, like you want something from me, you see something, and I need to make sure that I'm prepared for that.
Right.
So every time I leave my house, I'm ready to have a conversation if you wanna have it or answer something or be present for you, and I feel like that is if you understand leadership, you recognize that's what it's about.
Oh, that's so good, Julia.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so now we have our rapid fire questions. So just
Okay.
these are my fun
Oh,
ones.
boy.
Don't worry. They're super fun. So whatever comes to your brain first, okay? So what are you watching right now? Any binge-worthy shows?
Oh my gosh. Oh, we're always I just re oh, this is gonna be so embarrassing. I just went and rewatched Poldark. I'm a British
Yeah.
show kinda kangaroo, like, I
Okay.
love stuff like that. I just needed some mindlessness and some,
Yeah.
like, love story stuff, so
So
I
good.
just rewatched Poldark. So, oh my
Perfect.
gosh,
Perfect.
so
Perfect.
embarrassing.
What's one book that changed your life?
So many. The first, like, leadership was Good to Great
Good to great.
that
Okay.
I read, and I was like, "Wow, this is, like, eye-opening," and then as much as it's, like, very different now, Lean In
Okay.
was something for me at that moment, really helped shape me. And then, I mean, right now everyone's doing let them.
Yeah.
So
Let them.
I'm in that phase
Yeah.
at the moment, let them, which it's very freeing. And I've always kind of been let them, but I think I'm really like let them
Yeah,
now. So
exactly.
I think every season brings something different, but Good to Great was that one foundational book that opened my eyes.
Good to great. Awesome.
Mm.
What's your go-to coffee order to start the day?
Oh, I am a latte with skim milk, sugar-free vanilla, and one Splenda.
I love it.
Soothing ice.
Iced.
Yes.
Okay. Your favorite Palm Beach hidden gem, whether that's a restaurant, coffee spot.
There's 2.
Okay.
The Mediterranean Market in
Mhm.
West Palm,
Okay.
they're Lebanese, it's family owned. The brothers all work there. They're crazy and loud. I was just there yesterday. I love the vegetarian platter, phenomenal. And then Independent Seafood is, a distributor, but they also have a food truck next to
What?
Mr. B's. You didn't know. And they have the
Julia, these
best seafood.
spots.
Yes, the best seafood ever. They have a mahi quesadilla that is legit to write home about. And they
Oh,
opened it during COVID, and, I was pregnant and legit, like, best thing ever happened to my life, and I'm like, "Don't ever close this down," and one of the owner's daughters works it, and we're friends now, and
oh
I'm
my
always like
gosh.
I call my order ahead, and they have really good fries, so those are my 2 favorite
Okay.
hidden gems.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. Two more. What's one piece of advice you'd give to women or anyone really who aspires to make a meaningful impact in their career?
Invest in yourself. I think a lot of us I feel like I see this all the time, a lot of people have imposter syndrome.
Mm.
It's not imposter syndrome. You are who you are. You don't try to be anybody else that you're not. I think living authentically is the best thing that you can do. And when you do that, you're going to find things that connect with and then go in 100%. Give your all to whatever you're choosing to do.
Oh, that's so good. And last question, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, living or deceased, who would it be?
Y'all are going deep today and wanting to know all the things about me. Dolly Parton.
Hey, Dolly Parton's
I
the
love
best.
Dolly. I feel like she is my inspiration. She does not care what people think.
She doesn't.
She is stunning, exciting, has given back to the world, and, especially on the LGBTQ thing when people get really,
Yeah,
not aware of it, she's like, "People should be people," and I live my life like that. Human rights are, like,
right.
my cause. I think we all should be able to say and do what we want and
Yeah.
live our lives, and I feel like she champions that, and I think that
I
reading's
mean,
very
she's
important.
fabulous.
Yeah, Imagination
Yeah,
Station, who doesn't, get behind that? So,
exactly.
things that just make me I mean, I'm hoping before she dies, I get to see her.
Yeah.
That's, like, a big goal. Need
Listen,
Dolly.
I'm a big Dolly fan too,
Yeah.
so I'm right there with you. Well, thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us
This is
today.
so fun. Thank you. I didn't know how fun this is gonna be. 30 minutes went by like
I
nothing.
know it's
Okay.
crazy.
Thank you, Kiana, for having me, and thank you, the Palm Beach Chamber.